The day Elden Ring Shadow of the Ertree was released, Promised Consort Radahn's fight became the most notorious boss fight in the lands between due to how difficult it was. But this boss made me think, what makes a good boss fight? Is higher difficulty truly better? I don't want to talk about Radahn's fight specifically, I'll keep that for another video, but I just want to talk about what makes a good boss fight in general. You see, we all know the Souls type games are known for their difficulty. They don't do hand holding. So yes, you can't just hack and slash your way to victory. And that even applies to low level enemies. Even if you think you are a king of gaming, get lazy, and even a lowly pawn will take you out. But is the difficulty truly what makes these games so good? Does the Souls type games attract a fan base full of sadists?
I'm actually kind of comfortable right now, thank God for shock.
For us to understand why the Souls formula gained so much popularity, we need to go back to the basics. Forget the boss fights for now, let's look at the most basic enemy of every game and let's break it down.
Let me break it down for you, Mark.
If you've never played a Souls type game before and you encounter one of the basic enemies, you will probably lose to one of them at one point. You will learn that these enemies will not be taken down by just repeatedly smashing a button. Speaking about smashing, before I continue, please go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button for more content.
Smash, smash, smash! Yeah!
Anyway, even if you succeed in defeating a couple of enemies by just attacking, one of them will eventually beat some sense into you early on in the game. You will learn that each enemy has a pattern. Learning this pattern is what will help you defeat these enemies. Each enemy interaction becomes a puzzle, and as human beings we love piecing things together. This is why we love riddles. They don't just tell you how the protagonist solved a problem, you are the one who solves the problem, which means you feel a sense of triumph because you contributed to the accomplishment of the protagonist. We see this in many games. There's a locked door, but for you to proceed, you need to solve a puzzle or find a key. It's solving these problems what makes us feel good because we are contributing to the success of the character. The bigger the challenge, the bigger the reward. That's why climbing Everest became so popular. It is a huge accomplishment for the people who are able to do it. But I don't think difficulty is what made Everest so popular. There are many other mountains more difficult to climb than Everest, yet they're not as popular. The reason for that is simply because they are too deadly. Mistakes on mountains like K2 or K5 are way too costly. And that is what I think can cause issues with a boss fight. When an encounter is too unforgiving, you no longer view it as a challenge that you want to overcome, but instead you will view it as an annoyance you want to avoid. Think back about all the boss fights you encountered and think of which bosses frustrated you to an extent you felt it's necessary to look up a YouTube guide on how to cheese the boss. This is a symptom of a poorly designed boss. The idea that people need to put down the controller and look up cheese tactics shows that there is a problem with the boss fight. Now, for the ones who say that people need to just get good, I want you to just take a moment and look down. You see that high horse you're sitting on? Please get off of it. I say this because you can't seem to be able to criticize a boss fight without somebody popping out and saying,
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
If you tell them the camera and lock-on features are horribly designed, they'll just say, well, how about you learn how to lock on and lock off so that you could get a better view? Or maybe you could just bait the boss to the middle of the arena so that you could get a better view. These are solutions for sure, but that doesn't mean the boss fight is not flawed. The amount of visual clutter that makes it so hard to see what Radahn is doing in phase 2 is a design flaw. Now, do these design flaws make the fight more difficult? Yes, they do. But do they make them better?
Hell no!
And it doesn't have to be a camera issue. It could be a moveset that makes the fight more difficult, but not for the right reasons. Take the Elden Beast for example. You first fight Radahn, which is a difficult but fair fight. Then you face the Elden Beast, which, in my opinion, a poorly designed boss fight. I'm talking about when the Elden Beast travels from one side of the arena to the other side of the arena, and then you have to travel all the way to the Elden Beast, get a couple of hits before the Elden Beast flies to the other side of the arena, and then you have to run back to the Elden Beast while dodging all the ranged attacks until you finally get a couple of hits in before it flies off out of reach again. Does that make the fight more difficult?
Yes! Yes! Yes!
But does it make it better?
No.
it just makes the boss fight long, boring, and exhausting. So the issue is not difficulty. Difficulty enhances the experience if it fairly tests your skills. Do you guys remember this part in Dark Souls 2? I still get nightmares. The enemies individually are not hard, but when you throw 50 at me at the same time, it becomes annoying, especially when their attacks are not properly telegraphed. I have handled archers before, so I'm not lacking in skill, but do you know how annoying it is when they get aggroed from 100 miles away? The moment you enter an area, they start attacking with what seems like homing arrows that track you and knock you down. I did not feel any sense of accomplishment clearing this area. I just wanted it to end. Was it difficult? Yes! But fun? Nope. You want to make an encounter difficult? Cool, then make it fair. Which brings us to another question. What makes a boss fight fair? I'm going to leave that for another video, but for now, please like and subscribe for more content, and until next time.